So now we know what this place is really about. It's nothing more than a whorehouse, a high-class whorehouse. Odd, there are some sofas, maybe to make possible spectators comfortable. It looks like something was going on in this bed. I'd rather not touch it. Rather explicit pictures. Rather explicit pictures. It's fine where it is. Rather explicit. A red light, indispensable object to create the right atmosphere. It's too hot to screw out with my bare hands. Yes, I should be able to unscrew it with a handkerchief without burning myself. Good. I let it cool down a bit. Now I can get it. With this, the room will become a perfect dark room. Better not.
Where you want to go this time?
Essex Street, Lower East Side.
Okay.
As long as the bed is in the way, there's no way I can open the door. Yes, this lamp is perfect to get the right atmosphere that I need to develop photographs. Good. It's time to play photographer. The magnifier shoots its light beam, focusing right on the photographic paper. I take the page, and then I put it in the developing liquid, then in the fastener, and finally, I rinse it with water. I let the photograph dry for a while. 15 minutes, and the magic is done. Now I have a nice picture of Howard romancing with Harvey Weber's stepdaughter.
Let me guess. We have to go somewhere.
65th Street, Upper East Side.
Okay.
Yes?
It's Riley.
Of course, Mr. Riley.
What do you say about these?
Well, how did you get these photographs?
Unlike in your movies, in real life, a detective spends most of his time trailing cheats or butlers with a nimble hand. I don't usually run into dead bodies or take exotic trips.
Did you follow me to blackmail me?
I'm not a blackmailer, but it looks like we have a common acquaintance, Ms. Weber.
Susan?
Right, Ms. Susan Weber. Howard looks like a pretty impressionable guy. I'll have to change slightly the reason why Harvey Weber hired me. Her father asked me to find her and tell him who kidnapped her.
Kidnapped her? What are you talking about? I didn't kidnap anyone.
You don't have to tell me that. Tell Mr. Weber. He's a 6-foot-tall, 200-pound butcher. Not exactly the type of guy whom you can calm down by talking about the movies, especially if you got up close and personal with his daughter.
And you want to give these pictures to that man?
That's what I'm paid for.
I'll pay you twice as much. I'm a rich man and I can pay any amount.
Don't start emptying your pockets. I've already told you I'm not a blackmailer, but you could be helpful.
What do you want for these photographs? You aren't going to give them to some crazy, violent guy, are you?
You might be helpful for something later on. You help me, and Mr. Weber will never find out about this little matter.
Okay, I'll do whatever you want. But please, don't go around flashing those photographs.
I have an offer for you. It looks like you're in the good graces of Marzetti, and that could be helpful.
I don't get it.
It's simple. Get Marzetti to leave his office long enough for me to take a look around.
Are you joking? I don't want any problems.
You already have problems. Having an affair with Mr. Weber's daughter wasn't a great idea, but if you do as I say, you won't have any problems.
Me? I don't know how I could help you.
You said that Marzetti was interested in your business.
Yes.
Good. Tell him that you've changed your mind. If he invites you to his office, make up something to get him to go out.
You're crazy. I'll never accept Marzetti's offer.
I don't care if you accept it or not. I just want Marzetti to leave his office. That's enough for me.
You're terrible.
Maybe you're right. Next time I see one of your movies, I'll take notes about how a gentleman detective acts. I sit at the bar and I order what, in this joint, is called a cocktail. I see Howard passing behind me and heading upstairs, but not before tossing a malicious glance my way. Relying on that sort of producer to get Marzetti away from his office isn't a great idea, but it's the only one that comes to mind at the moment. While I wait for Howard to come back, I drink my cocktail. Simply disgusting. There's enough sugar in it to kill a diabetic. A few sips later, I see Howard coming down the stairs. This time, Marzetti and his bodyguard are with him. It looks like that 2-bit producer actually did it, and I'm in the clear to go look around that big shot's office. I'd say it's the only way I can get in. Dannazione, the lock just reset. I have to start over. I'd say it's... Let's see what Marzetti's hiding. Imported whiskey, Italian and French wines? Our Marzetti takes care of himself. It's tempting, but I'm busy now. A series of statues and vases from who knows where in the world. Some spears and a shield. I don't need a degree in anthropology to figure out they come from Africa. I'll take the spearhead. It's not very sharp, but it looks rather strong. There are some glasses on the table. I'll take one. It could be helpful. From the smell of it, I'd say that this glass had brandy in it. A telephone. I don't have to call anyone now. And if I had to, it wouldn't be smart to use this telephone. A box of Cuban cigars. No, I hate the smell of cigars. A closet. Coats, shirts, ties. I'm not going to find much in here. And this totem definitely takes the cake for the most garish thing in this place. I wonder how they could pick out something like this. That's an odd thing to keep on a desk. This series of discs doesn't seem like a simple knick-knack. A safe inside a totem. I love classy things. A safe... I need a combination to open the safe. I don't have time to figure it out. I need to find a quicker way to open it. It's closed. Good idea. I can use the glass to hear when the cylinders of the lock click. I opened it. These wads of cash are making me think that I'm in the wrong line of work. I'll take a wad. I'm sure it's dirty money, but it's better off in my pocket than in Marzetti's. There's a notebook in the safe. Yes, I'll take it. This notebook must have important information in it if Marzetti thought it needed to be in the safe. It's the notebook I found in the safe at Marzetti's office. I tried to take a peek at it, but it's all mumbo-jumbo. Looks like it's written in code. I need to figure out how to read it, but I can't think of how right now. I need to think about it. I'd better think about it. Yeah. Slavonsky's father used to work with encryption. Maybe he can help me figure out what's in the notebook.
I don't understand these idiot producers. First he wants to talk business downstairs, and then he changes his mind. He just wasted my time. Oscar, do you have the office keys? Damn it, I must have left them on Howard's table. I'm going to get them. You, stay here.
Dannazione! Howard didn't keep Marzetti away for even 10 minutes. I have to find a place to hide right now. Yes, a closet is a good place to hide.
I left the office open, but I was sure that I locked it. Oscar, make sure no one disturbs me. I have to make an important call. Hello? It's Marzetti. How's the search going? You had more than 2 hours and you still didn't get anything? And who is this guy? Jack Del Nero. A private detective. Let me guess. Is he Italian? How do I know? Simple. That guy was here until 5 minutes ago. He obviously gave me a fake name. Maybe he's still in the joint. I'd better go with Oscar and ask this guy a few questions. No way! We gave you more than enough time to take care of this and you failed. And now we'll take care of it. Oscar! Let's go. We have to talk to our new friend.
Something tells me that my next conversation with Marzetti won't be as cordial as the previous one. I'd better get out of here. Oscar's behind the door. If I went out now, I wouldn't end up well. These windows open onto a sort of terracing. Going out of the door is out of the question. I guess the windows are the only way out. This fire escape could be a good way to get out of here. If only this signboard weren't there to stop me from getting there. The signboard is in my way. The mounting of the sign to the wall doesn't seem to be in too good condition. At this point, the joint seems damaged. I can't think of anything. I don't see how I could use them together. I could try to lift it with the spearhead. Let's see. Now that the signboard isn't a problem anymore, I can use these stairs to get out of here. Now that the I was never a big athlete, but I don't have a choice. Just like a cat, my muscles contract, and my arms work as counterweights as I get ready to jump. A not-so-young anymore cat with an alcohol problem and lungs full of tar. Now is not a good time to indulge in self-criticism. I better stay on the sidewalk. Getting run over by a car is an experience that I'd rather avoid at the moment.
Where you want to go this time?
Essex Street, Lower East Side.
Okay.
What can I do for you, Del Nero?
Goodbye, Slavonsky.
Goodbye, Del Nero.
Your old man deciphered codes, right?
Da.
Can you decipher this notebook?
Del Nero, deciphering skill isn't something you inherit. I never had my old man's passion for codes, and I never mixed up with his job.
So you don't have any idea about how I could read what's written in this notebook?
I can tell you that most of the codes used to hide information are based on substitution cipher, also known as Caesar cipher. In fact, the emperor of ancient Rome used to code his messages using a cipher based on the shifting of each letter by one or more positions. If you assume that you shift each letter by one, then A would become B, the B would become C, and so on. If you find out what exact number is shift, you get information that you look for.
It's easier than I thought.
Before you say it, I suggest you try it.
Slavonsky, this is the first time since I've met you that I have a reason to think you're more than just a stingy landlord.
Then, maybe our relationship would change today, but don't think I won't toss you out on your ear if you don't pay rent.
And don't you think that I'm going to start taking your threats seriously. I'll try to use the method that Slavonsky suggested me. Good. Now that I have figured out how the code works, nothing can stop me from sticking my nose into Marzetti's business. Written in this booklet, there are pages and pages of names of people working for Black Lily. Starting from delivery boys and police officers and going all the way up to cardinals and politicians. The more you read, the higher the rank of the mentioned person. I wouldn't be surprised to find God's name at the end of the list. But I don't have to get all the way to the end of the list to find the name that I was looking for, the name that I knew that I was going to find. I just had to get halfway through the booklet to find Leroy Malone's name. Maybe this will be the most idiotic thing that I'll ever do in my life, but nothing will stop me from getting into that department and shoving proof about Marzetti's ties to Black Lily in his face.
Hey, you. If you're looking for Lieutenant Malone, you're not lucky at all. He left half an hour ago.
Where'd he go?
I don't know, but he left this for you.
Malone has disappeared. The only thing he left is this piece of paper with a number on it. 555-7589. I don't see how I could use them together. As they say, open sesame. Malone has disappeared. The only thing he left is this piece of paper with a number on it. 555-7589.
Ah, you again. Where we go this time?
Essex Street, Lower East Side.
We see.
New York operator, what can I do for you?
Can you dial a number for me?
What's the number?
555-7589.
1 second.
Hello?
Malone, is that you?
Del Nero. I'm happy to see you got my message.
Yeah, and I have also found out a couple of interesting things about you.
You don't know nothing, Del Nero.
You're on Marzetti's payroll, I know that. You think it's enough?
So go report me to the head detective. No, wait. Go tell the police chief in person. If you don't know the names, you can find them in that notebook you took from Marzetti.
I see you know about the notebook.
I was informed about it.
Let me guess. You were the one that Marzetti was talking to when he realized that I wasn't just one of the many detectives passing through his joint.
Looks like you listened to the telephone call.
Yeah.
Del Nero, this is too big for you. This isn't some jealous wife who kills her husband or some rich guy knocked off because of a will. Get out of the city. Take the girl with you if you want, but disappear forever.
Thanks for the advice, but I intend to get to the bottom of this.
Why did you do it? It's certainly not to get justice for your old pal McLean.
Could be. After all, he gave his life to protect a kid. I think he deserves it.
I didn't take you for such a sentimental guy.
Everyone has his defects.
Del Nero, if you really want to know what's going on, be at Ellis Island in a half an hour, and I'll tell you everything.
Ellis Island? Who's to say it isn't just a trap?
No one, but I'm sure you'll be there. You're a guy who's more curious than careful.
Ellis Island. Half an hour.
Don't be late.
You know how to get to Ellis Island?
What you want to do at Ellis Island in middle of night?
Just answer the question.
Of course I know get to Ellis Island.
Okay, let's go. Ellis Island. Any immigrant who came to improve his lot in this country knows this island. This is where they put you the first time you set foot in America. As soon as you get off the boat, a guy with an elegant white lab coat visits you. If you don't have health or mental problems, you're allowed to enter the registration room. There, some kind of inspector asks you all kinds of information about you, where you were born, how much money you have, and if you have a criminal record. If you answer correctly to all these questions, welcome. Starting today, you're part of the grand old USA too. The Statue of Liberty. When I got to New York, it was the first thing I saw. A powerful and proud woman with a torch full of hope, shining her light on the entire world. But today, that hope has turned into melancholy. Melancholy for everything we could have become in this country, but didn't. It must be Malone.
Hi, Del Nero.
Malone.
A man was killed at the Melville port tonight by the usual suspects. That's basically what I was supposed to write in the report about the McLean homicide. That's what Black Lily ordered me to do. But something changed their plans. Your friend was able to escape, hide the girl, and call the police. And if that weren't enough, he decided to call you too. He knew that the people who were looking for him wouldn't have had any problems buying the silence of some lieutenant or even of the police chief. So he needed someone he considered to be incorruptible. You.
Sean always thought too much of my honesty.
Even before escorting you to the department, I had instructions to frame you. You had a history with McLean, and that made things easier for me. The point was to keep you here until the men from Black Lily, disguised as forensics, collected everything they needed from the port.
A perfect plan.
Right. But your friend got involved, paying your bail and pointing you to the trail of the real killers of your former colleague. Even if you were out on bail, I never thought you'd make it all the way to Marcetti.
It seems that, as a detective, I'm not a complete washout yet. And it also seems that you are not as honest as the award hanging in the police department affirms with so much pride.
Well, that isn't just a simple award, Del Nero. It's a promissory note on my soul.
Explain that.
I received that award from Mayor Weston for having caught Samuel Cutter, the former boss of Black Lily here in New York.
Yes, I know the case. And I'm also smart enough to understand that not everything is as rosy as it seems.
Cutter wasn't well seen, and the organization didn't like it. They knew that with the public opinion against them, getting control over the city wouldn't have been as easy as it had been in the past. So they decided to get Cutter and all the people connected to him arrested. At least, that's what they wanted the people to do. Actually, the only ones who ended up in the slammer were simple collaborators and a few small-time crooks. In some cases, even regular folks who for some reason had a debt with them.
Patrick Olson.
Now, he was one of the many.
Malone, why are you telling me this story?
Because you are my only chance at redemption, Del Nero, at least in part for everything I've done over the years.
Do you think that by letting me live, I'll destroy an organization like Black Lily? Malone, I'm a private detective, not a superhero in a kid's comic book.
I'm not expecting anything from you, Del Nero, but given how the organization is persisting on looking for the girl, I guess she's gotta be pretty important to them. And if they can't find her, maybe something might change.
They'll get rid of you as soon as they figure out what you're doing.
If that's how things are supposed to go, let them.
What are you planning to do now?
Nothing. I'll just wait and see what happens. And there's no better place to do that than in front of a huge statue that symbolizes justice.
Whatever you want.
Well, good luck, Del Nero. May destiny smile on you.
I don't believe in destiny, Malone.
I'm sure.
I leave Malone with his thoughts and go away. Maybe his advice to get a change of scene isn't as bad as it seems. Maybe that's what I should do. I should disappear. All of a sudden, a hiss interrupts my thoughts, and then silence again, a silence full of death. Malone crumples over as if he were without a skeleton, a limp body that hits the floor. Then a second hiss, a sharp pain in my neck. I fall on my knees. My muscles aren't responding to me. Anesthetic. My vision starts to get cloudy. I fall into darkness.
I hate people who are late, and the guy that I'm waiting for should have been here more than an hour ago. I can't stand it. I can't stand any of the reasons why people are late. Whether they didn't plan their time properly, had a problem, or even worse, know that the person who's waiting for them doesn't have a choice. The man that should have been here an hour ago has documents that I need to have if I want to leave this state with the girl. Without those, I would have to stay in this dump for who knows how long. All of a sudden, the joint's door starts to creak. Someone's coming in. A horrible stench of cologne fills me nostrils. It's him. It's Smiley. He sits down at the bar and starts talking like we were old friends. I cut him short and I ask him if he has what I need. He puts the documents on the table, a nautical passport and a permit to let the girl get on board. He tells me that the passport is missing the photograph and that I'll have to get one myself. Then he takes a napkin and writes a name. Sainte Marie de la Mer. This is the name of the ship that I have to take to leave New York. Getting on a mercantile ship pretending to be a sailor is the only way that I have found to leave the state. And according to what Smiley says, I'll have to get to Brooklyn to do so. I expressly asked to set sail from Newark, but Smiley doesn't seem to have understood. I'm grasped by an incredible desire to punch him in the face, but it's not the time. I give Smiley the money. $50. Too much for false documents, but not that excessive considering that they are the only way to save me life. After taking the money, Smiley sputters something that sounds like good luck and leaves. Taken with him the stench of his cologne dabbed on in the hope of hiding the chemical stench of the crap he works with all day. Ridiculous. The guy that I almost put in the slammer a few years back for forging documents is now the same guy from whom I'm buying me freedom. Destiny is a strange thing.